Hi there, people. Today I will be doing a tarot reading for Alex Jones. The relic I'll be using to harness his energy is this book called The New Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. I do recommend this book, it's very good. And it talks a lot about the types of things that are very real, the types of conspiracies and happening every day. Trust me when I say a lot of conspiracies are true. Not every single one, but a lot of them are. It would be good to have someone like Alex Jones to do investigations into every single conspiracy theory, no matter how crazy it might sound. But investigation is the key term. We need proof that this stuff is happening, not just claims. What we really need is like a breakdown of why any conspiracy is real, such as the JFK assassination, even 9/11 conspiracies. I'm personally not a believer in moon landing conspiracies, but it would be nice to do a little breakdown of that, right? Weigh out the evidence against all the opposition. Popular Mechanics released an article supposedly debunking 9/11 claims, and I've never revisited that article. That was just something for my teenage brain to use as affirmation that, oh no, it's impossible for 9/11 conspiracies to be true because Popular Mechanics. But nowadays, I'm not too sure. I think there's a lot of truth in 9/11 conspiracies. And that is what kind of put Alex Jones on the map, I believe. He's also known for having been in Bohemian Grove and recording what's going on. So Alex Jones, quite a cultural icon in American politics, and he endorsed Donald Trump, believing that Donald Trump was going to expose or take down the deep state. I must admit I have a bias against Alex Jones now because seeing how he's responded to Donald Trump, it just seems so obvious that he is a con man. But I will not be allowing my bias to misinterpret what the cards say. So some things about Alex Jones that everyone should know. Oh, shit. He is an Aquarius. Jeffrey Epstein is also an Aquarius. He is a Life Path 7. And I think being an Aquarius and a Life Path 7, that probably makes him very primed to be a conspiracy guy. Specifically a guy who goes on the fringe, deep into the shit. He's someone who will not slow down for the sake of anything. He is dedicated to his cause. And it's interesting when someone is a truth seeker and yet you kind of feel like they're lying a lot. I am curious. Alex Jones. We're going to pull 3 cards for him. What I want to know is, how's he doing? What is he hiding from the rest of the world? And what is he trying to get? So how's he feeling? What is he hiding? What is he trying to get? All 3 are reverse cards. That's already a pretty interesting result. We have a reverse Ace of Pentacles, reverse Chariot, and reverse 4 of Cups. All of these cards, if they were upright, would be a pretty nice picture for him. Not to say that, I try to repeat this, upright and reverse doesn't always mean the same things. Like, upright isn't always positive, reverse isn't always negative. If these cards were upright, we would be seeing a completely different picture. Ace of Pentacles reverse signifies lost opportunity. It's also kind of like he's not able to see. It's like lack of seeing ahead, or kind of like losing track of what he really wants, losing track of his goals, losing track of his finances. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with Alex Jones, you'll see he's kind of panicking right now when it comes to this Donald Trump thing. And he did put a lot of investment into Donald Trump becoming president. Like, he kind of staked his career on it, he staked his reputation on it. And this Epstein thing in particular was very important to Alex Jones. It was important to his audience, and it was very important to many people within the MAGA crowd. Now that this Jeffrey Epstein thing is being swept under the table, Alex Jones, I think, is panicking. He's kind of lost and confused. He's worried, probably, about his business, about his reputation, his brand. Pentacles is typically like a material card. Ace of Pentacles reversed can easily mean that, oh, you're not really keeping track of your finances, or you really did not predict that maybe your finances could take a hit. Now, this wouldn't be the first time that Alex Jones doing what he does ended up making him lose a lot of money. So he's probably suffering a little bit from PTSD from the first time he lost a lot of money. So now that this Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein thing is happening, he could be concerned about his finances. So when we asked, what is he hiding? We got a reverse chariot. A reverse chariot says that you should, slow down. You don't really have any direction. You don't really know what you're fighting for anymore. You don't really know what you're doing, so you should stop and think about it. Why would he be hiding this? I think Alex Jones really boasts himself as someone who's assured of what he's doing and what he's fighting for. He was very in on Donald Trump, very in on Donald Trump. And that's a pretty big deal, especially in the crowd that he's in, because one, he's telling his people that you can't trust anyone except for a very small amount of people. So when Alex Jones tells you Donald Trump is the man to trust, that means a lot to his audience. If Alex Jones no longer is sure if he should continue to support Donald Trump or say, oh no, he's part of the deep state for sure. And he is kind of wrestling with it. He wants us to see him wrestle with it in a sort of showmanship way. Can he possibly? But he keeps throwing out little narratives that suggest that it's just such a impossibility, that there must be something going on, right? It can't just simply be that Donald Trump is a con man. Perhaps Alex Jones believes that Donald Trump is probably a con man, probably not the man to put everything on the line for, but he doesn't want his audience to know that, so he needs to slow down and come up with a way to craft a narrative that is able to protect his reputation, not alienate his audience, and also not ruin the opportunities he's been given by having this MAGA movement be his whole thing. And then we're wondering, what does he want to do? We got a reverse Four of Cups. Reverse Four of Cups is it's telling you that you're probably gonna want to withdraw. You're going to want to do some introspection. You're going to want to check in and see what is your goal? What is your real passion? What is your soul crave? When you get a reverse Four of Cups in a reading, it's telling you to do some, soul seeking. Looking deep inside, because otherwise you are going to just withdraw from society. I think Alex Jones, what he really wants to get out of all of this. I mean, he even specifically said to Donald Trump, stop. Just stop talking. And I think what Alex Jones is kind of saying with that is that if Donald Trump keeps speaking, then Alex Jones can't help but keep responding, because he's invested in Donald Trump and the Epstein Files. So if Donald Trump simply stops talking, that would give Alex Jones a chance to just have a couple days to himself and to really ponder on this. So maybe what does he want? I think he wants Donald Trump to stop. I mean, literally that's what he said. The cards kind of just I'm kind of seeing this as he wants Donald Trump to stop, because otherwise he can't stop. So we're gonna delve deeper into Donald Trump. And by doing that, I'll take these two cards out, but I'll keep that Four of Cups up here. So this will be his link to Donald Trump as far as I'm concerned. And if it's not, whatever. The cards will tell us. So, his relationship with Donald Trump. We're just going to do a simple past, present, future. How about that? Past, present, future. All right, so Donald Trump of the past, reversed Eight of Swords. Donald Trump of the present, death. Donald Trump of the future, the reverse King of Pentacles. So the reverse Eight of Swords, it's sort of like it's a new perspective type of card, shedding away at beliefs that kind of hold you back, limiting beliefs. It's not, see, like I said, reverse isn't always terrible. When you get a reverse Eight of Swords, and if it has to do with Donald Trump of the past, I'm going to say like when Alex Jones first decided to endorse Donald Trump, I can kind of see it as Alex Jones sort of like understanding his new phase in his life, which is to move on from just being this anti-government type of guy, this sort of like don't trust the politicians or don't trust the deep state, all of these things. And then Donald Trump comes along and he sees it as an opportunity to sort of like, okay, I think this is what I'm going to attach myself to now. This seems to make perfect sense. He's sort of, this is like seeing the light type of card. So he's kind of like, okay, I see now how my beliefs no longer really serve me in the same way that this new opportunity can. So I think he saw Donald Trump as an opportunity to sort of like help him phase out of his previous existence and move into this new one where now he is a guy who sort of is a mouthpiece for Trump, a massive supporter. You look at this card, it's kind of cool how it's talking about Cyber Command from the United States. Kind of cool. I would recommend looking into that more if you're interested. So death card for present, which, no one's going to die. But what the death card kind of means is like an unexpected change or like a moment of transformation. In some ways, it's like a warning that this thing is no longer serving you, so you can just like get rid of it. And I think he's kind of struggling with that, sort of like what we saw with the Chariot and like the reverse Four of Cups. He's kind of like seeing, oh, maybe I should rethink this whole relationship and this whole vibe that I'm going at. Well, the problem is, of course, when this is your past, can you really, quote unquote, see the light multiple times? That's kind of what he's going to have to do in order to really shed away Donald Trump. This is a letting go card. So he needs to like let go of this attachment to Trump that he has in order to benefit. But then we get to the King of Pentacles for his future with Trump. This is kind of concerning, at least for Alex Jones. The King of Pentacles is how I would say Donald Trump is perceived by his supporters, but the reverse King of Pentacles is more so what I would say Donald Trump actually is. This is a card that talks about being a stubborn person who is not very good with finances, but is still very obsessed with your money, with your possessions. So if this is the future for Alex Jones with Donald Trump, there's a possibility that his obsession with money, his obsession with wealth, and that's kind of what we were looking at before with the reverse Ace of Pentacles, I believe. He had a concern for his financial well-being that may contribute towards him being stubborn, being wealth obsessed, and not being able to see the light when it comes to those things. And what this card indicates is that you're going to have more financial problems as a result of the very thing that you want, which is wealth. He's obsessed with his wealth, and that will lead to the downfall of his financial situation. If he's too stubborn to move on from Trump, which is what this card is indicating, he's going to lose more money. And that seems to be his future with Trump. Not a pretty picture for Alex Jones. Donald Trump seems to be bringing him down. Well, now I'm curious. I'm like very curious about Epstein. And should we do a past, present, future as well with Epstein? I don't know if there's much future with Epstein. There could be. I've already done an Epstein reading. I think this Epstein chapter has come to its we're in the final chapter, I would say. Like, we are, if there is any future for the Epstein Files, it's probably far away, or it might be lost forever. But I am curious, Alex Jones and Jeffrey Epstein. One, I'm going to ask, is there any significant connection? And does Alex Jones really care about the Epstein Files and uncovering them? Connection? Reverse Four of Wands. Does he care? Five of Wands. Interesting. This is a tough one because Four of Wands, it can mean like inner harmony and personal celebration if you draw it like that. It doesn't have much to do with connecting with another person. But in the way that it can connect to others, it's sort of seen as like a lack of connection or a lack of embracement of other people, a lack of group cohesion. Perhaps his connection with Epstein is probably fractured. It's also like he can't. The way I'm seeing these cards is not having to do specifically with Epstein the man, but with Epstein the idea and how it relates to him and his audience, Alex Jones and his audience. This is sort of like a destabilization card, or a card that shows that there's a lack of stability in your relationships or in your connections. So I can see Epstein sort of creating this lack of stability now for Alex Jones. Does Alex Jones have a deep connection with Epstein? I'm not necessarily getting that from this card. I may need to... I'm getting a phone call. So I don't see him being pals with Epstein just based on this card. Maybe I could do keep getting a phone call. So, all right. So he's got a lack of stability in his base. He's probably not doing very well when it comes to this Epstein thing and how it keeps his personal following together. And that may be what he fears right now. His connection to this whole Epstein thing is creating a lack of stability for him because of how Donald Trump has responded, obviously. And when we go to, does he care about Epstein, we got a Five of Wands. Now, the Five of Wands sort of represents tension with others. It's not a completely negative card, but Five of Wands is sort of like typically just a conflict card altogether. It's not pure pandemonium type of card, though. It's saying that he needs to like develop a strategy, like right away. He kind of probably sees himself as someone who needs to figure out a way to bring him and his people into the next chapter with this whole right-wing movement. The Five of Wands indicates that, okay, if we were to relate it to Alex Jones, what the Five of Wands says is that his people are all over the place. They don't know what's going on. Everyone's talking shit, everyone's got ideas, but no one has like anything clear or structured or logical. So Alex Jones, along with everything else, along with all the other people who are with Trump, are really trying to come up with a strategy, and they're trying to seed the information to Trump. If you watch all of these folks, that's what you're seeing, is them trying to throw out ideas like fire Pam Bondi. Because if he fires Pam Bondi, then they can say, oh, good, Donald Trump is concerned about the Epstein thing and he's getting rid of the scapegoat, essentially. That's the way I'm seeing it. And I have one more card I'm going to draw to just kind of like wrap all of this up. What do we come as a conclusion for this Alex Jones reading? Oh, okay. The card fell out, so that's the one we're going with, which is a Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is sort of like, it could indicate a power struggle, or it can indicate like someone holding on too tightly to something, not wanting to let go, which, there's a theme here with the cards that we're getting for him. A lot of not letting go. In some ways, it's like you got to protect your assets. It's not necessarily saying that you should let go, but that is clearly his concern, is to protect what he has. I think that is his number one concern. He's not too sure what's going to happen. He's afraid of losing his stuff, and he's trying to figure out a way how to defend his stuff. It could be his reputation. It can also be his material wealth, which I think is a big part of it. I think in some ways, this type of career, these two things are very connected. That's the way I would say it overall. Alex Jones is afraid. He's afraid of losing everything. He's afraid of losing what he's worked so hard for. And he's working really hard to make sure that he doesn't lose it all. This is what it's all about. Okay, well, thank you for listening.